Welcome to Why Are You Awake? Paul Farahvar here, your host. This week, comedian Jake Snell. Very fun episode. Make sure you follow Jake right there. Make sure, if you're listening to this podcast, to go over and watch it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Paul F Comedy. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok. I have a Substack now for free, so read some of my nonsense about comedy and random questions that people ask me. If you have questions, email them to me or DM me them. I'll answer them in the Substack. Yeah. Also, if you like this podcast, give us a review and I'll send you a free pin. Why Are You Awake pin? It's just the logo here. It's a high-end pin. I've got a few of these left. You'll see the comedians wearing these during the podcast. Be cool like them. I've got some upcoming dates. This Sunday, I'll be at the Comedy Vault for Paul Farahvar and Friends in Batavia. You don't have to work the next day. It's Columbus Day, I think. And everyone's on furlough, right? Anyway, the government's shut down. Come out, laugh. You don't have to wake up. I'll be in Los Angeles next week, October 14th at Yamashiro. Great show. I'll be at Flappers on the 16th, and there are some other shows in the works. I hopefully will be at the Comedy Store and Laugh Factory as well. Who knows? If you got friends there, tell them to put me on their shows. I'll be in Florida from October 22nd through the 26th, opening for Chris Frangiola at Off the Hook Comedy Club, McCurdy's, and the Miami Improv. Vegas at Brad Garrett's at the MGM, November 17th through the 23rd. So if you're there for F1 racing, come and laugh. I'll be featuring there. Brad Garrett will be there as well on some of those dates. I will also be at the Comedy Cave in Calgary in December 16th through the 20th. So if you got friends in Canada, that's my first time headlining a week in Canada, I think. Yeah, for sure. I did the Halifax Fest a few years ago, and hopefully I'll be in Canada more. I'd love to go there more. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to the podcast, watching the podcast, telling your friends about it, following me on Instagram, and go to my website, Paul F Comedy, for upcoming dates and information about all the shows I mentioned. And also, check out our sponsors. Hey, gang. As some of you know, I used to be a practicing lawyer in Chicago. I no longer practice, but from time to time, I need a lawyer. And when I need a lawyer, I call my friend Scott Shapiro. Scott Shapiro has been practicing law for over 25 years in Chicago. He does it all, from workers' compensation to personal injury, employment issues, and even entertainment law and contract needs. If you need a lawyer, call my friend Scott. 312-648-8800. That's 312-648-8800. Or you can email him at scott@scottshapirolegal.com. Tell him I sent you. You're welcome. It's time for Why Are You Awake? Paul Farahvar here, your host, as always. This week we have one of the greatest things to come out of Wisconsin since cheddar cheese, Jake Snell. Hey, Jake.
Hey, buddy.
Look at that. Do you see that?
I do.
Took me hours.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah, we're professional here.
Yeah.
Jake Snell, comedian now living in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I remember first working with you. You remember our first encounter?
Was it Milwaukee?
It was Milwaukee.
Yeah, during one of those festivals. Either.
No, it wasn't a festival.
Or was it?
It was a Sunday show that they used to do at the Tap Room or Brewery.
Oh,
or some
Lakefront.
shit.
Yeah.
Lakefront Tap.
Yep.
Tap Room.
Yep.
And I think you did guitar that night.
I maybe did.
We were talking about music for a while because I made clear that you knew that I was a musician.
Yeah. Yeah, you gave me a little pin. I was putting on the pin when you
with the guitar
when you started, but you gave me a little guitar pin too.
Guitar pin. That. Yeah, we have that bond of being musicians.
Mm-hmm.
But you've worked it into your comedy.
I have. Yeah, I have. Well, I do like. I don't really write any comedy music, but I'll do on the spot stuff. So I'll make a whole song with the crowd.
Yeah.
Like as the show starts, which is fun.
Yeah, that's never been done before.
Yeah, it happens a lot. But you know, I like to put my unique spin. When
I was a younger lad and drunk, I would bring girls back here. We'd have after hours at the Club 2026.
That's what
it's called.
You're just giving away your...
Well, they don't know where it is. I'll cut that out. And I would play guitar and I would just make up songs. But I knew, obviously, rhyming.
Yeah.
So if someone's name is Jake, I would do snake, everything. And then they'd be like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's such an easy thing to do, and I see comedians do it. It's a good payoff.
It is one of those things, like when I would do this to actually open shows before the host, just to set like a tone, and then if it's good at all or funny at all, it seems like a magic trick.
Yeah.
But if it sucks, it's still like that was still good fun.
It's even if it's not funny, it's clever enough where they're like, "Whoa, he's talented."
And I would do like beatbox, bass, and guitar, so I would at least get to be like, I'm good at something, even if I mess up the words or whatever.
I want to bring in the guitar on stage, and I did it once at the Laugh Factory, and it was just brutal. All the comedians,
a lot of space to fill.
Well, it was like a off night, and the joke that I did, I just held the guitar in my hand and I tuned it, didn't play it, didn't address it, and then the punchline of the joke was, "This is how we do it." It was an old joke I did. That was the only time I played the guitar. I would just do din da din da din da. That was it. That was the joke. And then comedian was like, "Oh, that's a Demetri Martin bit," and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then years later, I worked with Demetri.
He actually did the same riff and everything.
Same concept of just holding the guitar, not playing it, and then just whatever.
Yeah.
And then I told him, I go, "Hey, Parallel Minds, I try to do it." And he goes, "I've never done that. That's a good bit." It's like, fuck.
He's like, "I'm going to do it now."
Jonah Jurgens, my nemesis, was made me feel so stupid, so I never did it again. I've worked with other guitar acts, and they're like, you have to incorporate.
It's fun. I used to do it in Madison a lot because it was a way to like be on the shows that I would produce without having to host every 2 weeks or whatever.
And it's different, so people just saw you. Yeah.
And I would do it in black rooms too. And then that would be like, that's like as good as it got.
Yeah. I haven't seen you do it in a while. Do you still do it?
I haven't done it in Chicago yet. I feel like there's so many comedians in Chicago that like some people, when I'm on a show with them, it's the first time they've seen me. And I've been around for a decade.
Well, how long have you been living in Chicago?
Coming up on 4 years.
You can bring the guitar.
I will.
When?
I promise.
So you've been doing comedy for a decade?
Just about. The first few years it was like, hitting mics every once in a while, maybe getting a show. Like in the summer of 2015 is when I started producing my own show.
Okay.
And that's the first like regular gig I had. And then I got into Comedy on State like around the same time. Yeah, I went to school in Madison and I lived there. Before I ever did a stand-up showcase, my band would play at Toller Wolf's showcase when he lived in Madison.
Okay. Playing just music, not...
Yeah, we would just do walk-up music, but we would learn like a sample of a song for the comics. I was really inspired by the Roots.
Okay.
And the Roots, like, they always had like some clever reason why they played a certain song for a certain guest. We kind of just like ripped that off. And then when I started a show, I had the band already. But it was cool because we could busk on State Street in Madison. There's like, half a mile strip where it's just like pedestrian traffic only.
Yeah.
And people would be like, "Oh, where can we see you?" And we're like, "We're at this comedy show." And that's how we packed out our show every time. Just playing on the street.
Hell yeah. Did you grow up in Madison?
I grew up in Kenosha.
Did you know Chicago? Kyle Rittenhouse then or no?
He's from Antioch, but he did that in Kenosha. And my mom works as a records clerk for the Kenosha Police Department. So for like months after that, I want to say like almost a year after that, she had to like drive to a random parking lot and get police to take her to work. Because they just felt that there was a threat of,
Yeah, it's a weird time.
That's the kind of thing that'll keep you up at night.
That's right. We're going to get to that.
A little brand recognition there.
So you grew up in Kenosha.
Yeah.
What were you like as a kid in like grade school?
I was like hyper expressive. Like I was like okay with like singing and dancing and being like extra as a kid. Okay. And that slowly got bullied out of me. But like we grew up in an area, Kenosha, where like we actually had access to like different cultures. Like we had a lot of black families, Hispanic families like around us. So we were actually the anomaly, being the only white family around. I just felt like a lot of my friends were like little black girls, and like I would double dutch and like sing songs and learn dances and like stuff like that until I was like old enough to like play football. And my brother was a big football player, so I played football my whole life.
Older brother.
I went to like middle school, high school. I just started to like I had like a serious tone.
In high school then, were you a jock or were you more of like a theater kid?
Literally both, because I was like a dork, but I was like captain of the football team, VP of like student government and National Honor Society and stuff. So I was a high achieving kid.
Well, wait, how big was the school?
Big school, like 2,500.
Because if there's like 17 kids. Did you play were you quarterback?
Quarterback, yeah.
Wow. So in the comedy world, I've talked about this on the podcast before. There's certain people that are like, okay, well, you were the theater kid, but you were like this. Were you a tall,
I was like
rugged dude?
like a stereotypical like
Abercrombie
all
model.
Americana kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like on the outside, you know.
Yeah.
But then I was also like a dork. Like I would like eat lunch by myself underneath a staircase. There was a little table, and I would like read my physics book. Like I actually enjoyed learning about it. So just like
yeah, that's a weird.
and like I was like
combo.
friends with teachers.
Did you sleep
like,
with teachers?
No, but I mean we can get into
Come on.
a situation that happened when I was like 25.
Okay, that's different. In high school, then, were you like friends with everybody? Were you like in a cool crowd, or?
I didn't really put too much stock in trying to be like one of the cool kids. Like I was popular by the standard of like, yeah, everyone knows this guy. Like he's around.
Were you guys a good football team?
We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
we
come
were
you
undefeated for quite a while.
And you were the starting quarterback?
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah, I started freshman, sophomore. We went undefeated. Then we went to like second round of the playoffs my junior, senior year.
How come you didn't continue playing?
Well, on my senior year, I played with a torn MCL. I still don't even have one on my right knee. But I was getting recruited by some schools.
Wow.
And then I was like Dayton, Ohio, and Minnesota Duluth, which is like a D1 AA and a D2 school. Like Duluth won the national championship in D2 like
Wow.
4 out of the 5 years that I was in undergrad. But I really wanted to go to Wisconsin and walk on. But school was just way too overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like I took like 16 credits my first semester. And then also like some of the professors, if you're going the PT route, they're like trying to talk you out of like situations where you might be injured because your career success hinges a lot on your mobility. Because
You have to
you're
be
like,
mobile to be PT?
well, just like theoretically think about it. Like
Yeah,
if you have like a permanent injury, you have to be like pretty fit.
I feel like everyone that did PT was like, they peaked in high school and they're like, well, I'm going to use this.
And actually, like when I finally went to get
Shout out to my family that are PT members.
Shout
I'm just
out
fucking around.
Shout out to everyone I've
offended.
that brought
PT
me on
people
this
who
early.
helped me with my herniated disc. No.
I was going to go to Marquette for PT school, and I had like a patellar subluxation, which is like a partial dislocation of your kneecap.
Yeah, I have that.
I went to get that like taken care of with a PT, and this guy was like number 1 in his class at Marquette and worked in this like shitty, awful clinic.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and he like was always a bummer, and he just hated his life, and you could tell. And like,
You're like, this isn't for me.
I was like, this isn't even like, I'm not even able to heal in this environment.
How old were you when you figured that out?
Like 21.
So you'd already
Maybe.
spent your life planning to be a physical therapist, and then
Yeah.
you're like, this is not a good call.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been a fine call, but it's like I had this kind of like repressed, like I always wanted to do music and perform and stuff, never actually acted on it. And then when I was in college, I met a lot of like, I was friends with these guys that were in an a cappella group. They were all singers, but they all played like an instrument too. And so we would just like do these little, you know, college jam circles and whatever. And that actually ended up being the first band that I ever gigged with, and the band that would play at the comedy shows and all that.
When did you start playing guitar?
11 or 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got a guitar for like my 11th birthday. I had an uncle, like a kooky uncle, who like taught me some stuff, but I never took lessons or anything. I would just like guitar tabs or whatever and just like learn tabs. And then in college, I actually took a music theory class just so I could learn
Theory.
actually, because everyone else was just like, oh, we're going 1 4 5 1.
Yeah.
Can you add a 7th? Can you do?
Yeah,
And I'm
like,
like,
what
I
does
think
that
I could do it. I need to know what it is.
Yeah, I took a music theory class in college, and I dropped out because I couldn't keep up, because I was already in a band. I was already playing, but I can play by ear, and I just never knew theory. So it's like, why does it matter? I know what's going on.
I learned enough in that class to like get by for the rest of my life. Also, there is like a thing where like you play with these musicians who are really rule bound.
What does that mean?
Where they're like, well, we're not going to resolve. We're not going to resolve on the 2.
We're doing.
There's explanations for what you're doing, but there's no rules.
You think fucking
There's no rules.
Miley Cyrus knows that shit? She doesn't give a shit. She just fucking rules.
She probably does, dude.
Yeah, she's actually.
She probably does. She's actually very.
I couldn't think of the. Oh, Chapel Rome. That's the one. She doesn't know.
100% she does.
Oh.
She was like a keys player.
All right. Well, whatever. You know what I mean.
No, keep going. I'm going to keep.
Dolores O'Riordan from Cranberries. She doesn't know.
You just aged yourself a little bit there.
Shout out to Dolores. I'm a Gen X, proud to be.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's good.
In high school, you're this jock star quarterback, allegedly, and you're on the government. You're student government.
Yeah. I was voted most likely to become president and most likely to succeed.
The name.
That was my two superlatives.
Were you drinking a lot in high school or before?
Maybe
Wisconsin?
in college, yeah.
You didn't party in high school?
In high school, yeah, but like nothing. I don't know though, because also like Wisconsin high school drinking is probably more normalized than other places.
I drank more in high school than I drank in college. Almost as much in college. We drank every weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, like sophomore year,
Friday, Saturday.
It was like a thing to do, but I don't think you could like physically drink as much.
You didn't do drugs or anything like that, or smoke pot?
I mean, in high school, like junior, senior year, I had two friends that I would sometimes smoke weed with. They were also athletes and musicians. Yeah. I couldn't do it around like I could never do any type of drug like still around anyone that I don't know that well. Because it
paranoia
just
or what?
Yeah, you get in your head and you're like, oh, this person doesn't even know me, and they they think that I'm like just strung out or like
pot always made me anxious. Like I
yeah.
never got in. I mean, I liked it if I was with my friends, but even with my friends, they're like, you're the worst to get high with. Like no one wanted to get high.
I smoked a lot of weed when we played music all the time.
Yeah,
in like college days, because we had like an apartment on State Street, and we just had our stuff plugged in all the time. So we'd have like parties and just have like people over, and we would just jam out. And
this was where we used to practice in a lot of.
Oh, this room?
Yes, in Kenosha. What would you do late at night? Were you like a night owl back then in high school?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I had an attic bedroom too, and like when I was in high school. So my brother, we were always doing the same thing. Like when I was a freshman, sophomore, he was the varsity quarterback. He was a junior, senior.
What's his first name?
Kyle
Snell.
Not Rittenhouse.
No.
Different Kyle.
I think everyone's name at that period of time.
So we were always like doing the same stuff, and he moved out when I was a junior, senior. So I had like this attic kind of like mini apartment kind of to myself. And then I would just like play guitar.
No curfew?
No. I mean, my mom like thought I was she knew I was like
you were
a responsible kid.
Getting good grades.
So I didn't get like monitored very much.
Yeah.
Like at all.
What about your dad?
I didn't live with my dad, and
they were a child of divorce.
They never got married.
Oh.
Yeah. I have a relationship with my dad though, and like he was around, but we always lived with my mom.
Okay. They never got married?
No, they're still friends though.
Hear
like,
that, America? Marriage is an outdated institution.
I'll go see my mom at she bartends at a bar in Kenosha, and my dad will just like be there.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, they get along. You know, they're a couple of townies, but yeah. Oh yeah.
What does he do? What did he do?
He works at Rust-Oleum distribution center.
I'm the dad in the commercials. Shout out.
Are you actually?
I am, yeah.
For Rust-Oleum?
Yeah.
Nice. They gave me a scholarship to go to college, and I worked there in the summers in college with my dad.
I did that. I painted that and this with Rust-Oleum paint that I had to pay full price for. Then no discounts. Fucking bullshit. But
yeah.
I'm like, do you know who I am? And they're like, it's Amazon, bro. We don't know anybody.
Yeah. They're going to AI you for the next one.
Yeah. You just stay in. You weren't like going out and partying?
Not a whole bunch. I dated a really prim and proper lady in high school whose like dad was like the jack of all trades at the school, and she was like valedictorian, salutatorian. She was like really good. She was like in the marching band. So it was like I had hot? Like oh yeah.
Marching bands usually nerdy people.
Yeah, I know.
Kenosha sounds really weird now. Everything doesn't make sense.
Kenosha is really weird. They have everything. Like in terms of people, they have like every type of person. You wouldn't think that they do, but
not
they
Persians.
really do.
There's no Iranians there.
There might be some Iranians. I don't know any by name.
Any Jews?
Oh yeah, there's some Jews.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's an extension of the North Shore suburbs, really.
I don't know if Kanye West would agree with that. Do you you said you were playing guitar in your attic late at night. What about when you were younger? Were you staying up late and your mom would let you stay up?
Yeah, because we were like fall asleep to the TV, but I would stay up to watch Becker a lot. You know that show with Ted Danson? Yeah. For some reason, it came on at like 11, and I was like, I just gotta watch Becker.
I've seen
liked
like
the
3
show.
episodes.
I don't know why. Like I tried to rewatch it like
Didn't
as an adult, and I was like, it's fine. I don't know why I was so jazzed about watching Becker. I think I just liked Ted Danson.
Yeah, he's great.
Honestly,
I like him. How about comedy? Were you watching stand-up comedy at all? Or?
Yeah, like my dad used to do this thing where like he would put on like an Eddie Murphy album and then just like do what he had to do, knowing that I would just like watch it.
Yeah.
So my dad was a huge comedy fan when I was like coming of age. Comedy Central Presents was still a big thing. Tosh.0 or
The half hour special.
then when streaming came out, I was in college and they had back catalog of all of them
Yeah.
on like a Hulu or something. It's like the first one I ever like really liked that I got off LimeWire was Nick Swartz, and his Comedy Central Presents for back in the day. It was like really great. Back in the day where you would quote movies and like things that you had heard. So like we would quote like Nick Swartzen for like years, like Mitch Hedberg for like years.
Yeah.
You know.
When did you think you wanted to do stand-up comedy though?
In college, I lived right next to Comedy on State. We had gone to the Wednesday night a couple times.
The open mic.
And I was sending all my friends stand up all the time. It was like the only thing I would recommend to people. My buddy Nick was like, dude, you got to go up. Like you're constantly making us all laugh. Because like the thing about the Wednesday,
it's 3-minute open mic, right?
It's like 3 minutes, 4 minutes if they know you. But they're supportive. Like even when
super supportive.
People like go up and like clearly suck, but the crowd like still wants a good night. And they're like young, so they don't have that much exposure to like stand up. So like if you're good at all, you'll feel like you did okay. So it was like you'll be funnier than half of them like right away. This is my friend who's like, you'll be funnier than half of them. Half of them we just laugh out of like
artsy
good for
liberals.
you. Yeah. And so I did my first set there.
And
it was bullshit, but it went really well.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like not something that I would not repeat a single thing that I said.
after you did that set, were you like, all right, this is what I want to do, or you went back to music?
I had started doing music around that time. I didn't do stand-up right away for like a while after that, but then I got a gig because I had done a couple open mics at a theater opening for that a cappella band or group that I was talking about.
Doing comedy?
Doing comedy.
Okay.
And it was at a 2,000-seater Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first ever paid gig, and it was just me doing 10 minutes to start. And that went really well because I didn't really have like an act, but I just wrote a roast and a toast about like all of the 14 dudes that were in that group.
Okay.
So like everyone's there to see them. So
Right.
they all, so like you reference like the people that are
Yeah.
on the show. And that was like, all right, now I'm going to do this.
Nice.
Like after that, I was like, I'm doing this.
So when you were in college, what were you doing late at night?
But that's when I had like my music friends. So that's when
Okay.
we would like smoke weed and play music. Like
What about, were you just going to the bars and partying and like?
sometimes we'd go out for sure. I was young for my like level in school always. So I like turned 21 like right before my last year of my 5th year of college.
Okay.
Even if we went out, it'd be for a little bit. We'd always wind up back playing music somewhere.
That was all you were into?
Our friends
You
did.
weren't like
Yeah.
chasing chicks or
We'd
anything?
have girls come back with
Yeah.
us and like we'd still play music. And like it wasn't just like a dude with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
It was actually like kind of impressive. And not even that we were really trying to like show off. It was just like what we liked. We were going to go do that anyway. We were going
Right.
to go chill.
You weren't
and
trying to get
smoke
laid.
weed and like sometimes trying to get
Yeah.
laid, you know?
People like you didn't really have to try because you're like a tall, good looking dude.
It's a weird energy to be trying to get laid. I feel like people can sniff that out. And also it's like if you are genuinely taking interest in people and eventually you like realize that like there's a connection with somebody or that they're interested, it kind of comes about more naturally. And then you weren't just like talking to them just to maybe fuck.
See, that's
You know?
easy to say for a 6-foot dude who looks like
Sure.
you.
Sure.
Whereas like you can be like me, has a genuine interest in getting a connection with people in college, but
I think that's what I just said I did.
also
I think that's
wouldn't
what I
get
just said I
laid
did.
where like you wouldn't even, I feel like you had the option of like not trying to get laid. 'Cause
Sure.
people were
Sure,
throwing
sure.
themselves.
But
at you.
also, like a guy that looks like me walking up to a girl to try to get laid, you know every time.
Yeah.
Like if I talk to a girl after a show, who like if a random girl comes up to me and like genuinely just liked my comedy and just wanted to be like, that was so funny, it reminded me of my friend or whatever, and like
Yeah.
blah blah blah. If I talk to a girl for like 90 seconds or more, there's at least one comic that'll be like,
Yeah, but there's a difference between a woman that comes up to you at a show and is like, oh, that was really funny, versus me. With you, I would say, no disrespect to your comedy, they probably do think you're funny, but you've also like got them.
You think they're probing a little bit?
Yeah, you
seeing
also
what's
got
up?
them hard.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but it definitely happens. People do weird shit to me after shows now. Like I'll get DMs, girls and guys.
I'll do
and-
shows with certain comedians. They're like, oh, did you get the DM from anyone? I'm like, no, I didn't. Maybe like their aunts will probably message me on Facebook tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did you do some touring and stuff?
Opportunities were really, really scarce. There was not really a scene. There was the Wednesday, and there was like one other bar show you could do. If you were really good already and you'd been to the club enough and you'd killed it enough, then they were booking like 3 to 5 locals for stuff, and that would be like Jeffrey Asmus, Toller Wolf, Jenna Gephardt, and like Nick Hart and a couple others at the time. Those were like the people that were already good when I started, and then like a year into that of like actually being a part of the scene. But there was like 3 things you could do. If you get good enough to work Comedy on State, which I did after like a little bit of time, just like doing the couple things that were available. And like there was like a kind of a slow build up to be like, you're kind of like learning how it all works. And then by the time I was like working at Comedy on State, I was like, oh, okay. Well, like now I'll actually meet people who like want to have me on stuff and whatever. You have a little bit of more of an idea of how it works.
Well, what were you doing after shows? Were you doing the Wednesday thing on the regular at that point? Like you're just a regular?
Yeah, we do the Wednesday thing. And I started a show in that first like year. So I'd have like my show where I could work stuff out. That show was like the first show where you could do that show and get paid. I just happened to run a really good room like right away. Mm-hmm. And then eventually over the next couple of years, we had enough rooms to do a fest.
Okay.
And then I was getting asked to like bring stuff to people.
What do you mean?
The first year we did the fest, there was a music festival that asked, we want to do a comedy tent at our music festival.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was another group that was like, we want to do like all these concept shows at this like black box theater. I got asked to do both of those. And then I was like, well, I'll combine that. And then we'll add like the 5 good showcases that we have. And then we'll just make it a fest. And then that was Madison Comedy Week. That's
and you started that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah, me and another comic. Her name's Cynthia Casebeer. She was from Philly.
We'll edit that out. We don't get free promo here.
Yeah, I don't think she does stand up anymore.
I'm just kidding.
But it's we have a few nights at Comedy on State. We have shows at a place called the Burr Oak, which is just like the perfect indie venue because it's like a super pro music venue, but it's like all you need is 20 people for an amazing show.
Yeah.
But you can hold up to like 130 people.
When I worked with you, and it's got to have been at least 7 years ago now.
Yeah, probably.
We did Milwaukee together, so you were getting booked in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I would say like end of like 2015 is when I started to like get booked where I'd like go to Chicago, go to Milwaukee, go up to like Skyline and Appleton, and out of Madison, that was like all you could kind of do. Like, I mean, I had like a decent grasp of like what I'm supposed to be doing.
I remember you did well on that show. I mean,
there wasn't like a time where I was
I
like
remember who else was on the show.
Totally eating shit every time. But there were like, bits that I would try that would totally eat shit every time. And it's like, you should cut them. And
yeah. What were you doing when you'd go on the road for those? Would you just drive home or would you stay in the town?
Oh, it depends. It depends. I usually knew somebody in whatever city I would go to and stay with them. A lot of crashing on couches, a lot of Chicago crashing on couches and some of the grossest. End of college and getting into comedy. We'd just go out drinking like all the time. And it was really easy to like meet people too. And I was really interested in that part of like stand up because in order to like meet people you either had to be like part of a group that like
clicky
kind of knew people wherever you'd go, or you'd have to like reach out really hard and if you're in like just like a bar trying to meet girls or like trying to meet whatever. Stand up was the first time that like people would identify themselves if they wanted to like
maybe you, but not everybody.
But like I met a lot of people. And
yeah, a lot of it is just like hanging out after the shows. It was just hard. For some people, you can't do that. Like I had a job, so I wouldn't hang out. But like
I had jobs.
Well, what were you doing during that time?
I was an adapted fitness trainer when I was in college, and then I worked for the Madison Spinal Cord Injury Support Group.
Oh, so you were still doing
Dane County Human Services. Then I worked in education. I taught like a wellness seminar at a couple of the area colleges.
So you used your degree.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Let's talk about Skyline because everyone has a crazy story from Skyline. Do you have any nights where you were out in Skyline and?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have a few. I mean, like definitely swingers, like more than a couple times. I don't know why, but it is definitely a thing up there.
Yeah.
Like 100% it's a thing up there.
Did you go to a second location with any of these people?
No, but we would always go to that place Cleo's.
Yeah.
On College Avenue where it's like Christmas lights
all the time.
Year round.
Yeah.
A few good stories from there. Some of them wholesome, just like I got to work with like I went there with Kyle Kinane and this girl waited for him to like be done selling merch, and then she was like, I'll take you guys over to Cleo's, and I was featuring for him, and we get there, and she like goes to park, and she's in like the middle of 2 lanes, and then there's like a parking lane, and she just cuts over, and the guy just like totally nails the side of the car that me and Kyle are sitting on, and we just been like chilling in the green room drinking, so we're just like, oh shit, and then the guy just like takes off, and the girl just gets out. She's just like a super fan of Kyle's that he like knows from like previous visits. Right. It's like, what do you want to do? She's like, fuck it. And then we just went and drank like an entire bottle of Screwball. I did Ken Hamlet's show, A Drunken Night Out. So you do a set, and then there's an intermission, you just get hammered. Yeah. And I had to like book a driver. My buddy Sean Vasquez drove me up there. This dude, you know Michael Robinson. So Michael Robinson and Nate Burrows were the other comics on the show. So you get hammered, and then you go back up, and then Ken gives you stuff to talk about, and then you just have to talk about it. Very fun show. Ken has since quit drinking, I believe. It happens. Shout out to Ken. Love Ken. At the bar, I was smoking, and I had like a pack of cigarettes with like 3 left, and this dude came out, and he was like, I'll buy that pack of cigarettes off you for $20. I was like, you can just have one. He goes, you don't think I got $20? And I was like, I mean, I'll take it, but like it's almost gone. And he was like, take the fucking 20. And I was like, okay. You think you're pretty fucking cool, huh? I was like, dude, I'm chilling. And he's like, I'll put you through that fucking glass. I was like, yeah, I bet, man. And then like Michael Robinson, for those who don't know, is 87 pounds with everything he owns on his body, you know, and he's sitting there like just pieced up, like ready to, and I'm like, chill. First of all, I'll kick this guy in his sternum, you know, and then dude just falls into the street. I think I took a cigarette back.
And you got the $20?
I think I might have, yeah. I still got the $20. Shit on the road like that. I mean, the first long chunk of stand-up, I was just drinking after every show. Yeah. Like, as you should. I was going to ask you, what do you do now after shows? In the last few years, I feel like people are less down to like hang after shows, but the comics that do like always have. Also, I drink less at shows now than I did before.
After a show, you're still wired. If you're not drinking, what do you do? Are you productive ever at night where you go home and like write?
Yeah, if I have shit to do. You know, I run the festival and I run like promotions for some comics and stuff. I'm pretty effective though throughout the day. The thing I love most about the like wee hours of the morning or whatever you want to call it is that it feels like it's like your time. Yeah. Like it feels like there's not something else I should be doing necessarily. You can't just like take a beat for a couple hours during the day without feeling like I'm supposed to be doing something.
Or getting texts or getting calls or
like
emails.
The world around you. Like I live downtown, so like the world outside is very busy and like it's loud and it's like at like 2 a.m, I get really like, that's when I do a lot of good writing. That's when I would do a lot of good like writing of like musical stuff. Just have like a lot of really like quiet, like thoughtful experiences. It doesn't feel like you're wasting time.
People don't understand
the way it does.
That. Yeah.
Like during the day, I feel like I'm wasting time if I just like play guitar for an hour or whatever. Then I'm like, fuck, I got to do this. I got to do this. I gotta do this. Like no one's waiting on me to do anything at 2 a.m.
Yeah. There's nothing else to do. So you can do what you need to do.
And what you want to do.
Right.
And I feel like the only thing I'm robbing from is sleep. But it's like,
sleep late.
I'll find ways to get
sleep when you
caught up on sleep. I don't know.
What are your hours now that you're care?
Like last night I was up to like 3:30 in the morning.
What time do you wake up?
Woke up at like 10.
Well, you live with another comedian, so like, are you guys both on the same? Is she a morning person?
No, she's like, she usually is up and has been to a workout class before I get up.
But you're like a monogamous dude, huh? Like you always have
I value monogamy.
Well, I mean, like you've never been single.
Oh, I was single for like a lot of the first years of doing stand-up. I've only had like 4 actual like relationships in my life.
God. What a waste.
But like early 20s,
what a waste of your body.
I was pretty single, you know.
If I looked like you in my 20s, I would have AIDS by now.
Really?
Yeah, I was a skirt chaser.
I was under the impression you had AIDS.
Well, I just got tested again today. We'll see. But no.
You get AIDS tested regularly? You grew up in the 80s.
Checkup.
You got it. Yeah,
I got
generational fear.
All STD tests. Yeah, I think they test for AIDS every time.
Do you get the swab or what?
I haven't done the swab in a while. I did the swab when I had that herpes scare.
For her, you had a herpes scare?
Yeah, it's on my special where a girl accused me of giving her herpes during COVID.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I've heard
It's
you
an
talk
old
about
joke.
that.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore. I don't do it anymore because now I do have herpes. No, I'm
I don't want
just
to bring any
kidding.
attention to the herp factor.
No, I don't want to shame anyone. The biggest thing for me when I was in bands, the reason I started playing guitar was to meet girls. Yeah, and even when comedy, like when I first started comedy, I think I still was like that. But now it's like the furthest thing from my mind.
But I think you're known as like a ladies' man, dude.
Really?
I think so, a little bit.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel like you always have like cute girls that come to see you at shows.
Oh, that come to the shows, but I don't leave with any of them. They're like go home with their boyfriends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't. No one goes home with me.
You guys, it's a nice home.
It's nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a nice home.
I think I got laid a few times from comedy, but mostly like.
Well, it's kind of a bummer too, because you genuinely do want people to just like your comedy, and like maybe if you like somebody, you hope that they have an interest in you. But
most of mine, thankfully, they like my comedy because it's not this they're looking after. So that's a plus of not being 6'3", good looking dude. Times that I did get DMs, it's like Vegas is a great example. Like you want to go out with people there, you're going to go to clubs till 4. Like I can't deal with music like that anymore. Like it's too loud. I don't really drink anymore. I'd have to like chase around a girl and act like I'm interested who's like 10 years younger than me that doesn't know who the Cranberries is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah. What's your age limit?
The sky's the limit. No.
The sky.
I don't think I have anything.
Like up or down?
I don't think I have anything in common with someone under 32. But I also don't really do well with people in my demographic because they're all like, unless they've been like divorced and they have kids. I like to date
There's
people.
something about being a comedian that people don't take seriously, and then there's something about being a comedian that people take like way too seriously. Like they think you're like amazing and brilliant and like brave and like all these like heroic characteristics, but they also are like, oh, you like don't value like a stable like existence.
You can't. And it's funny
like,
that
I own a condo. And
so my podcast for years was Singles Only, where I basically told comedians not to date other comedians. That was like the premise. It was like the HR for the comedy community. I was
disqualified from that one.
Yeah, but like you and Natasha Pearl Hansen, who's a comedian here in Chicago, you guys have been dating for how long now?
Coming up on 5 years.
5 years, both comedians,
both comics,
and it's worked.
Yeah, I mean it's not without its strains. You know, she's older than me too. She's 40. I'm 32.
Yeah.
So like, there's times where like if I'm super busy or like I have a lot of shows or like I'm getting like a certain amount of work out of town or whatever, it's like there is like strains like that or like the pressure to like people kind of associate us.
Yeah, you guys are
like,
connected.
Sometimes people are like, I'll get like an offer for a show and then be like, we don't have any more room, or I'd offer Natasha. And I'm like, you don't have to, like, it's okay. Or like she'll get something and she'll be like, I'll see if I can get you on. I'm like, I don't want that at all.
Yeah,
like I don't want that at all. You don't have to book us both.
It's a combination thing. Yeah,
we had our full life meeting each other. We're also very different on stage.
Yeah,
like we're not even close to the same comic or even the same style. It's more good than bad for sure. I will say like one of the strengths I think that is like has allowed me to do comedy without losing my mind, because like you see people drop off and lose their minds a lot,
or stay in it and still
or stay in it and really lose their mind. Like from a young age, I wrote this paper one time about like what it feels like to compare your situation to someone else's situation. Doing the research for that about like what other people said about it and like what I had to say about it really stuck with me. I don't really feel envy and jealousy in the same way of like a lot of people will be like, oh, this person fucking got that and like this, and it's like,
that's good. It
doesn't matter at all. Even the most meaning you could possibly put on something, it's less than that always.
None of it matters
if it's good, and it's also like the worst meaning you can put on something, it's better than that always.
It's good to be even keeled.
You're not getting really up here and then dropping really far.
I just had this conversation with someone. Yeah.
Like, here. The highs are high and the lows are low, and that you can assign all the meaning that you want to certain things. Like, oh, I got JFL, or oh, I got.
Yeah.
That's great. It is like you should feel accomplished when you accomplish something, but like you can't get ahead of yourself, and you can't like think, oh, this person got it and I didn't. Like they're gonna.
You can't compare yourself to other people. You just got to get better. I always look at my time hop, and the only time I get depressed is where like I'm doing a shitty show.
Yeah,
And then last
you're
time
like,
I'm like, I
oh.
was at a fucking theater last year. This is a bummer. That's the times I get.
Which that does happen all the time.
Yeah.
So like
I peaked 3 years ago.
I'll see some stuff and be like, ooh, like, damn, I had an 8-city tour last April.
What am I doing in Saugatuck, Michigan? If you're having fun, sometimes that helps too.
No, it's nice to be like somebody who's like, I got a high percentage of yeses, you know, like that's cool.
Yeah.
And like maybe you could zoom out and look at it as like data points, but like if everyone doesn't want to have you, then, you know, maybe start to think something. But
what are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, like, yeah, you seem to be working all the time.
That's just my work ethic. It has nothing to do with my comedy. We are out of time. Jake, where can people find out more about you and your upcoming stuff?
I usually have dates posted on my Instagram at Jake_Snell_.
Yeah. Why didn't you just do Jake Snell?
I don't know.
Is it available still?
It must not have been
at
the time. That's probably the only reason I would do something like that. And that's my handle on like everything, YouTube, TikTok.
All right. Well, Jake, thanks for doing the podcast. Sorry I kept you late. And
You're good, buddy.
Thank you all for watching or listening.
Thanks for having me.
Go to sleep.